So I've decided to do a quick mini vlog of our weekend and what we get up to. So we have just gone for a quick glass of wine. I'll do a bit of a catch up tomorrow, but I'll take you through the evening. Basically we're just going to be eating a lot of food, our usual Friday activities, and yeah, I'll show you what we get up to over the weekend. We got to bed so late last night because we watched this documentary, Made You Look, I think it was. It's on Netflix and it's about a fraud in the art world that was then discovered like maybe in, I don't know, only in the last few years. I thought it was going to be kind of boring, but I do love art stuff, so we trying to be quiet on the balcony. It's an absolute beautiful day here, perfect, no wind, blue skies. I think it's meant to be about 27 degrees, but yeah, we went to bed at like 1 o'clock because we were up watching that documentary, but it was so good. I would really recommend it. But I woke up before our alarm, which I kind of like because I don't wake up too groggy, and I've just put the coffee on. And our plan today, we are meeting our new wedding planner. Our previous wedding planner that we hired back in August when we got engaged turned out to be the worst. Like, I don't even know how she has a job in general. She was rude, negative, just awful. Like, it was the most stressful few weeks here. We met her for the first time in person, and we had only had a few calls really because obviously with COVID we didn't know if the wedding was going to go ahead or not. But she was an absolute nightmare, and I'll be leaving not a stinker of a review but an honest review, because I wouldn't usually, but I just feel like your wedding is just so important, and if you don't, like, we were just so unaware, especially when you're doing destination weddings, you know, and you're not really sure of the culture. I was kind of like, oh well, Greek people can be kind of like that a little bit, and anyway, I'll be leaving a review. But we're so excited to meet our new wedding planner. She is amazing. She's been so positive so far. Maybe I'll do a little bit more of a detailed vlog on planning a wedding abroad, because I know I've talked to a few people and they kind of hope to do it, but they're a little bit nervous. And I thought it would be way easier than it is. And I definitely have some things that I've learned along the way. So anyway, so we're doing that today, and we're finalising venues. Hopefully we're scouting venues and finalising them, because the ones that we have, just I don't know if they're going to work with numbers. We didn't actually think that many people would come, and now with hopefully travel being back in September, a lot of people have RSVP'd yes. So we have over, I think, 100 people coming, and that is quite a lot for a destination wedding, and also for a wedding like during COVID. So yeah, so anyway, we'll see. Our favorite cafe that I basically used to go to every morning as a kid and have continued to go to all the time as an adult, you'll have seen it on my Instagram. I did a poo in the middle of the cafe when I was 2 years old, on the floor. So it feels like home, obviously, to me. I don't do that anymore, but it is reopening today. Everything's opening way later here because of COVID and just lack of tourists, but we are going to go down there for breakfast. I'm going to go for a run now, and I'm not really sure what we'll do with our day, so I'll fill you in as we go along. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a morning catch up. I'm gonna have my coffee now, and I always go for my run before breakfast, so we'll do that. And yeah, we'll let you know how the wedding planner goes, and have a good day. I'm just back from my run. I did 8k, and I listened to Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team manager, on performance something or other. I'll link it in the description box, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the episode. It actually got me throughout the whole run, or it got me from door to door. And what was the one thing that he said I loved? The day you fail will be the day your competitors regret, which I think is something that has really... I'm going to be doing another video on my failures in the last year especially, but up until now really, and things that I've been really honest with myself about in my business and my attitude and the way I work. Just, it has worked in some ways, because there are certain goals that I have achieved, but a lot that I haven't, and I'm just... It's all about learning and learning about yourself and your weaknesses. I definitely have a lot of weaknesses, but I will be talking about that in that video. But that is one thing that I definitely think is so true, that your failures always seem so catastrophic in the moment, but really, like he was saying about the Formula 1, the day that they win, where every time they win they walk away with a little bit of ego, they're happy with themselves, they don't feel like they have to improve. The day they lose is the day that they're going to improve the most, because they have to look into everything. Oh my god, I'm like a tomato. Anyway, I just thought it was really interesting and good podcast episode. I'm gonna have a quick shower, and then we're going to meet our wedding planner. So no time for breakfast, I'm annoyed, but maybe we'll do a really big lunch instead. So we're just here to meet the wedding planner, and we just heard from my friend that it was announced in Ireland last night that foreign travel is looking like a goer in July. Nothing's ever permanent in COVID, I know, but positive energy we need. I will maybe show you some of the venues today. So this is one of the locations that we are thinking of for either the reception or the dinner. This is an option for our day 2. I'm not mad about it. It's not private enough for me, but yeah, we'll see. I will maybe share a little bit more later on what we're thinking and how the whole process is, and if it's quite stressful managing everybody's ideas and expectations and what everyone thinks is good or bad, but we'll see. I feel this is already definitely a no. We're going to see, the current place that we have for the ceremony is on like a hilltop, and if it's very windy we need a plan B, and this was originally my idea for a plan B, but we're like in the middle of nowhere. That's quite pretty though. I don't know. I thought the grounds were bigger. What do you think?
Loving it.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, I thought the grounds were way bigger. Fit 150 people here, maybe? It's a shed. Okay. No. So we've just finished with the wedding planner and we've managed to get our dream location, which I didn't show you or I didn't include in the video because we'll be doing a full YouTube vlog for the wedding. But yeah, we managed to get the dream location. They were saying no, but we got them, persuaded them in the end, and now we are straight to the bakery. Do they not have it? Oh no. Up very strange. We just didn't really check the forecast because what's the point here? It's always sunny, but it's meant to clear up later at about 12, so that's fine. I'm going for a run now and we're going to be doing a bit of work today, so we both have work to do. My relaunch of my online yoga studio is happening tomorrow, so I have a little bit of prep for that. And the other thing was, yeah, after our day yesterday with our new wedding planner, maybe I was going to share a few tips on what to do before you pick your wedding planner, because we obviously made a massive mistake with our first wedding planner that was a disaster and she was awful. But yeah, just a few things, maybe tips on what to get clear before you choose your wedding planner. So I might do a little bit on that today for you, and yeah, finish with a little bit of a chat. Today is just work and then dinner, our usual weekend stuff. Today's our last Sunday, we're leaving next Sunday, so yeah, but chat to you later. Hello everyone. Okay, so today was a bit of a lazy day and we ended up just going to the beach and chilling. To give this vlog a little bit more substance, even though I did give you an insight into a few of our wedding locations, venues. I'm just going to do my makeup here while I chat to you. We had a bit of a disaster with our wedding planner, so I am going to go through my top 5 things that I would recommend, whether it's for a wedding planner at home or for a destination wedding. I'm just going to go through 5 things that I wish I knew at the beginning, because like I feel you think that it's very easy, you just pick a wedding planner, they're all pretty much the same and they're all as good as the next, but we discovered that that is definitely not true. So basically last August we got engaged here, for those of you who don't know, in Greece. Connor proposed in our favorite spot to watch the sunset, so that was magical and great. And immediately I started looking online for wedding wedding planners in Crete. There was one that does a mother and daughter that do amazing ones in Santorini. I checked with them, even though I thought they're probably way out of our budget. I will link everything below as well. including the makeup products. Yeah, we looked into a few and I kind of narrowed it down to 2 that looked kind of like they would be within our budget and like not the priciest, and also that they were kind of in line with the style I was going for, or, and I'm going to say a lot, which Connor gets a little bit annoyed with me, but to be fair, he is happy to go with whatever I want. So basically we ended up choosing this woman, and I spoke with her on the phone. We didn't get to meet her because we were only here on holiday and she had weddings or whatever, but we didn't get to meet her in person, which if you can, and I know with destination weddings especially you can't, but what we should have done is have kind of a video call with myself and Connor, but Connor was really busy with work and we were both kind of a little bit just kind of ticking it off. We're both very laid back and not really very good with attention to detail, so he kind of just left it to me. And I would advise, even if your husband or fiance is not really interested, or that he's not having much to do with the organizing, to definitely just get, like, he knows you and you know him, and to have a second opinion is so important. So I just had a call with her, and honestly I did not get the best vibe. She was just very serious, no smiling, not really very kind of enthusiastic, but I thought, oh well, I was just on the phone, so maybe that's the problem. Basically we ended up choosing her, but I will run through the 5 things that I wish that we did do, and I won't go into too much boring detail with how much of a disaster she ended up being. But the first thing in saying, my first big tip is to go with your gut. So I didn't do that, and I should have listened to my gut. You always intuitively know whether somebody is for you or not, and I think when you're kind of just so excited to get planning and you're focusing so much more on like the idea of what you want, and you kind of have an idea as well, like all wedding planners are the same, and also that I'm sure we can kind of just pay for whatever we want, when actually without the attitude, or without the good attitude of a wedding planner, a lot of things just don't get done in the way that you would like. So gut feeling is definitely my number 1 tip. Always go with your gut. Number 2 is her attitude. So a yes can do attitude is, I spoke to my friend Chloe about this, who got married a year ago, I think, and a can-do attitude is just so important as well. So again, it's something that you feel like wedding planners, that's their job, like that they should be super enthusiastic, and obviously you want them to be realistic, but this is like a really special day. Sorry, a little bit of noise there. And I feel like, you know, even if it's something that's out of your budget, they should really have a bit of creativity in trying to work things out to as close as they can to what you want. And our wedding planner was literally like, she was on another level. She was like, I don't think there's any other wedding planner like her out there. She was literally, everything was so negative. She was telling us constantly how stressed she was about our wedding, and that she didn't like where we were getting married, the village that we were getting married. She basically ripped it to shreds, and literally gave us just problem after problem. What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? Anyway, I don't think that's going to be the issue for anybody else, but a can-do attitude is just so good, it's so important, and that you get on with the person and you feel like you'll work well together. And I know this is kind of something that maybe doesn't happen, or you won't find out until later on, but it's important to kind of maybe know how you work and express or communicate that with the person, and find out as much as you can about their experience and how they work in general. The third thing is to try as best you can to figure out your budget and what is the most important thing to you in your wedding, and where you want your budget mostly going. And this is something that we only literally figured out in the last like few months, and it kind of just added a lot of stress where it wasn't necessary. We didn't know, sorry, my battery went there, or the memory card filled up. But yeah, we weren't really familiar with our budget and how much things really cost, and getting a vague idea of kind of basic expenses. And yeah, so I would say your budget is super important, just to know exactly what things are going to be cut, if things need to be cut, what are the top priorities for your wedding, whether it's drink, food, comfort, whatever it is. But yeah, really important to do a budget before you get planning. The next thing, number 4, is the contract. So before signing a contract, so basically with our new wedding planner, which we've only hired in the last week, who is just magic, she basically in comparing the budgets, it's just like, oh my god, like our other wedding planner, her contract is so vague, it's not specific, it doesn't specific, it's so vague that like she basically got away with basically ditching us, or getting us to ditch her, which in the end is what she did. But we really were at a loss as to knowing kind of what her services included, or what we were kind of had the right to ask of her. And also, like, I was really unfamiliar with like what the different types of wedding planners is. So basically the mistake we made was that we signed up for a contract or a service, a wedding planner, who basically you get all the vendors and she kind of just shows up on the day pretty much. And like that was kind of our fault for not doing enough research or not knowing enough about wedding planning basically. So unfortunately, when you're organizing an event for 120 people, is something that most of us have never done before, you have to do a little bit of homework. So I would really advise you getting a little bit familiar with kind of different types of policies, what the different services are that wedding planners offer, so that you're not left signing a contract and then being basically screwed with not having the services that you need, especially for a destination wedding when the language is different and you can't do a lot of the communicating. You need a wedding planner who's going to be doing all of that for you, yeah, you can't be asking anyone to do you any favors basically. So we're pretty lucky here that we have a lot of people that we know, but yeah, definitely studying the contract and making it really clear what you're signing and what you have the right to, cancellation policies, all of that. And the same with all of your vendors. If you are choosing any of the vendors that you need contracts with them as well, that you should be looking to see if VAT is included, if there is a proper cancellation policy, what the price actually includes. So for example, with photographers or videographers, destination weddings, does it include their accommodation, their travel expenses, all of those things. So just really trying to ask as much questions as possible, and don't be rushed into anything with people telling you they have deadlines or they have other clients who are interested in the date that you have. Just really take your time, because if what isn't meant for you won't pass you, so take your time. Also, vendor policies with wedding planners was something we weren't aware of either. So some wedding planners only work with specific vendors. So if you have ideas for cheaper vendors, or yeah, like more within your price range, or ones that are local or ones that you specifically like, some wedding planners will not work with any vendors outside of their contracted vendors, because they get a cut for all of the work that they bring them. So just be aware of that as well, really looking into their way of working, like I said, and their policies when it comes to the vendors that they choose. So actually that was it, and that is all of my tips. That was my top 5 tips, and yeah, I hope that kind of made it a little bit more clear. We are just to so that you're not all very worried about my wedding. We have a new wedding planner. She is absolutely amazing. She has done like literally in the last week, more than our other wedding planner did, or even just energy wise and support wise, just given us so much more than our previous wedding planner did in however many months, 8 months or something, that the other one was working with us. But yeah, we're very excited about planning the wedding. I will be doing full YouTube videos for, yeah, maybe well, obviously the day of the wedding, all of those days I'll be trying to do as much vlogging as possible. And if there is any other kind of wedding stuff that you would like questions or answers, like to ask questions and for me to answer them, whether it's wedding planning, whether it's looking for the perfect dress, whether it's makeup or hair, anything like that, please do comment in the question box below, and I will be sure to see if there is any kind of popular questions that you have, and I can put together some specific videos for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm just going to be doing my mascara here, but we are in Sunday evening, we're going out for dinner now, and really that's kind of the end of my weekend vlog. It was a little bit kind of all over the place. I kind of have to get more in the swing of doing these weekend vlogs and what you guys like to see, etc. But yeah, it was our last weekend. We're heading home next week, and I'm really, for the first time, kind of looking forward to going home. Not looking forward to going home to the wedding, or to the weather, sorry, wedding on my mind. But yeah, we're gonna be back in August, so I'll be back before you know it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I might bring you with me later just to show you the sunset, etc. But yeah, any requests for videos, please do let me know, and I'll be sure to get working. Went out for dinner and had a V-gorge meal, and I'm going to take photos after our meal, and got tomato all over my white shorts. Say lovey.